After connection establishment, we can transfer the data with TCP. When data transfer gets over, normally the client initiates the request to close the connection. Most implementations today allow two options for connection termination. First, three-way handshaking, and second, four-way handshaking with a half close option. This video explains everything about how the connection terminates using the FIN segment. So watch the video till the end. First, we will see three-way handshaking for connection termination. Here the client TCP, after receiving a close command from the client process, sends the first segment, that's a FIN segment, in which the FIN flag is set. Note that a FIN segment can include the last chunk of data sent by the client, or it can be just a control segment which consumes only one sequence number. The server TCP, after receiving the FIN segment, informs it process of the situation and sends the second segment like FIN plus ACK segment to confirm the receipt of the FIN segment from the client, and at the same time to announce the closing of the connection in the other direction. This segment can also contain the last chunk of data from the server. If it does not carry data, it consumes only one sequence number. At last, the client TCP sends the last segment, an ACK segment, to confirm the receipt of the FIN segment from the server. This segment contains the acknowledgement number, which is 1 plus then the sequence number received in the FIN segment from the server. This segment cannot carry data and consumes no sequence number. And now your connection is terminated. Next, we will see other options like four-way handshaking with a half close. In TCP, one end can stop sending data while still receiving data. This is called a half close. Either the server or the client can issue a half close request. Such implementation is required when the server needs all the data before processing can begin. For example, sorting of data. When the client sends data to the server for sorting, the server needs to receive all the data before sorting can start. This means the client, after sending all data, can close the connection in the client to server direction. However, the server to client direction must remain open to return the sorted data. The server, after receiving the data, still needs time for sorting. Its outbound direction must remain open. The data transfer from the client to the server stops. The client half closes the connection by sending a FIN segment with sequence number like X and acknowledgement number Y and setting FIN bit to 1. The server accepts the half close by sending the X segment with sequence number Y-1 because it consumes no sequence number. it also send acknowledgement number x plus 1. Now there is a half close connection. Data can travel from the server to the client, and acknowledgements can travel from the client to the server. The client cannot send any more data to the server. After all data transfer from server to clients gets over, server finally send fin segment with current sequence number, let's say Z, with the same acknowledgement number x plus 1 with ACK and FIN bit set to 1. When the connection finally closed, the sequence number of the last X segment is still X because no sequence numbers are consumed during data transfer from client to server, and acknowledgement number Z plus 1. I hope now you are clear about how connection termination takes place in TCP. That's all for today. Bye bye. If you like this video, press like and subscribe the channel and share the video. And don't forget to press the bell icon for my new video notifications. Thanks for watching.